What's going on, man? Today I'm going to be answering your top dating questions while we hang out and walk around Austin a little bit. Let's get into it. And first up, we get a question from our guy Alex, who is basically talking about one special girl he used to work with who, he really likes, but she's off to college and he's wondering if he should shoot his shot or just let it go. He's never met someone like her, doesn't know what to do. So I got some context from Alex, and he told me he's 20 years old. Now this is actually a super common thing I see happen with a lot of younger guys. They meet one girl, they think she's the one, so special, and they just get so fixated on her and think about her for years. Here's why that's an issue. Number one, a lack of experience in a small sample size. So if you're like a 19, 20-year-old guy, there's almost no way you've met enough girls to understand what you like, what you can actually get, and what would best suit you as a man in terms of a relationship or any one girl. So if there's not a big enough sample size, then you're doing a disservice to yourself by just like going and choosing one right now before you've even progressed. And so it makes literally zero sense to be fixated on one girl. What you should do instead is collect experience. You should be going out there trying to talk to girls, trying to get dates, get that extra experience, because that's going to show you that, hey, there's a whole world of women out there to meet. It's going to improve your skills. You'll be able to reflect and get better. And most of all, you're not gonna waste your time sweating over any one girl who it probably wasn't gonna work out with anyway in the long term and feeling sorry for yourself. You're better than that. Next up, we got a guy, Edgar, who didn't want his IG handle up here, but he had a question, great question, asked, what do you text a girl after the first date? So this is actually something I see a lot of guys screw up, and here's how you typically screw this up, right? You think that the date was awesome, so you text her afterwards and say, hey, I had so much fun, I can't wait to see you again. So that's like one error I see guys make. The other error is that they automatically try to like start planning the next date in the first text message. Like, hey, that was so much fun, do you want to hang out again on Thursday? The problem with this is it exposes all of your intentions right out of the gate. She already knows, hey, this guy likes me, hey, he wants to see me again, and I get it, you want the validation that she also wants to see you again, and I've been caught in this trap many times. I've done exactly this. But what's much better is to let it breathe. You want her to sit there for a day or two thinking, hey, does this guy like me? Does he want to see me again? I had so much fun, but like, what's gonna happen next? That's fun for her. She wants to talk about it with the girls, and by letting it breathe a little bit, that's what you allow to happen. So what should you text her after the date? Well, let's say you hang out with her on a Thursday night. So the next Friday afternoon, you can text her and say, hey, last night was fun, we gotta go easier on the tequila next time. Now the power of a message like this is it's subtle, right? You're like, oh, you're implying that there might be a next time, but you're not like trying to set it up specifically right then and there. There's still like some mystery to it. Then maybe from there you have a little bit of light banter for a couple of days. Saturday, Sunday, maybe you don't even text all of those days. And then let's say like Monday, Tuesday rolls around, and then that's when you try to go for the second date. You try setting it up then for, let's say, like the following Wednesday or Thursday. And doing this again, you let it breathe for a few days, you give her some time to think about you, and you don't ramp things up too fast along the entire dating process. You sort of keep it to once a week. This overall is a much better strategy than trying to hammer her with the hangout right away or telling her how much you enjoyed the time. That just doesn't work. Now, man, if you've been enjoying this Q&A, I actually do a dating Q&A every single week over on my Instagram account at dave.perrotta. Also the first link in the description. So go give me a follow there, ask me your questions, and I'm always quick to respond and help out. All right, so Jordan asked, is it better to get the phone number or the Instagram? And to be honest with you, man, I used to always say phone number, but now I'm more like kind of tilted over towards the Instagram side if you have a good profile. And that means like if you have quality pictures, you got like a nice enticing bio, and you post somewhat consistently, maybe like once, twice a week, then and you're posting like stylish, good quality photos. The reason for that is it's actually going to give you a little bit of a boost when she sees your IG. You're gonna be more memorable. She's gonna be like, oh, this guy, he knows his shit, he takes care of himself, I'll hang out with him again. Whereas just the phone number, it's just some digits, right? Like, it doesn't really make you stand out at all. But if you have a crappy IG, then just get the number. Okay, so my man 2K Drama 13 asks, what can I do at night to take a girl back to her place? Well, this one, I mean, first off, you gotta assume that you're getting her attracted, you're building a connection, you're building trust. Because if you're not doing that, you ain't taking her anywhere, bro. Now, assuming you can do that, and if you don't know how, then watch my other videos. But assuming you can, then the other big piece is figuring out the logistics. You need to know, what part of town she lives in, who did she come to the venue with, and what is she doing later. Now, if all those things line up, like maybe she lives alone, she didn't come with a huge group, or she's willing to leave them behind, then at that point, it makes sense to be like, oh, cool, you up for an adventure? Let's get out of here. Once you guys are outside, be like, cool, you live right nearby, right? All right, let's go head back there for a drink. And the whole way, you're just assuming it's on. You're approaching this whole situation with confidence, and if you can do that, you can take a lot of girls back to their places. 2K Drama 13 is bringing the heat. He's got another good question. How do I bring home a girl in a group of 2 if I'm going out alone? Well, there's 2 ways to do this. First, you talk to you should keep the entire group engaged until if and when another guy comes and talks to the second girl. Now, if that doesn't happen, you should be flirting with both of the girls, showing them both a good time, maybe giving your girl a little bit more attention, and then just bring them both home. Just, really play up the idea of adventure. After party is going to be a lot of fun, because the girl is probably not going to want to leave her friend behind, especially if it's in like the early or the middle part of the night. So just go to bring them both home and go for the threesome. Or you can leave one on the couch while you show the other girl your house tour. By the way, this big brown building right behind me, this is actually going to be my new office with How to Beast over here downtown. We're building out the team. I'm super excited for it. Stay tuned. Okay, next up, Sean Davis asks, how do you get past the talking phase? We talk a lot on the phone and Snap, and we even had a first date. Listen, man, I'll be blunt with you. Unless you're like 10 years old, there shouldn't even be like a talking stage. You shouldn't be snapping and texting a girl all day. Like, that's not some middle school or high school shit. You can't be doing that. What's a lot better to do instead is, it should start as a casual hookup stage, right? Where you go on a date, you guys hook up, have some fun. The next week, maybe you see her once, and then it goes on like that for a month or 2. You guys are hanging out once a week, hooking up, doing something chill, like watching Netflix or going for a walk, just something nice and relaxed. And that allows you to build things from there. The correct way to build a relationship is not by like talking on Snapchat or text for weeks or months. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere, and it's going to set the wrong precedent too, which is that you're just some jamoke who doesn't have anything to do all day except for snap and text a girl. You don't want to be in that position. Next up, the nice guy asks, ever dated out in LA, man? It's tough. And what I'll say to this is, yes, I have dated in LA and it wasn't that tough. But I also say that I've been to a lot of places in the world, and places with different cultures, places with different languages. And one thing I've noticed is sometimes, there are places that are more challenging than others, and sometimes it takes you a few weeks to get accustomed to it. Like, for example, in Japan, like, figuring out how do you communicate with girls when you don't speak anything anywhere close to the same language. But I've also realized that everywhere in the world, women pretty much respond to the same types of patterns. So if you have your fundamentals on point, it might take you a couple weeks to adjust, but eventually you're gonna start hitting, you're gonna start having success if those fundamentals are on point. Now, if, let's say a month passes in a new city or country and you're still having trouble, it ain't the city anymore. It's you. It's that your fundamentals aren't down the way they need to be. It's that, you're not adjusting to the new place that you're in. There's a few different factors that could be at play here, but you need to make an adjustment. And that might mean getting back to the drawing board and tweaking and honing those fundamentals, because you probably don't have them down yet. Now, bro, if you want to check out more dating Q&As from me, you can check out this playlist right here. I gotta run to the gym over here in Austin, get a good workout in. I will talk to you soon. Later, man.